Okay, so this is supposed to be a horizontal trimming, but I don't know, I'm just going to keep it like this. So you are welcome to this crochet knitting. It's knitting, not crochet. Oh my god. Okay, anyways, you guys are welcome today to another video. I am going to be showing you how to knit using your machine. You might have this machine, or you might have the central machine. It's all almost the same thing. Okay, so this my machine, I've been using it since last night, so I have a few rows here. You might need to switch your row counter to go to 0. If it's not 0, make sure your row counter is on 0. I'm using the AliExpress machine, AliExpress king size machine. It have you can see the buttons here, the hooks. I'm missing words because I'm also new to this, but I've done a couple of things, and I'm very sure I'm going to give information. Numbers, all the pin numbers are here. You can see it, and when you turn it and get the black buttons, if you're using this exact machine, you have 3 black buttons, which is actually your start and your start button. This one, the first black, you see them, they wrote 1 here. You can see the number 1 here on the first black button. Then you have the second one, and you have the third black button. So you take note of those ones, because once this button passes this yarn holder, this is a yarn holder, it opens and closes and get your yarn in and hold your yarn for you. Even though sometimes I hold my yarn to adjust the tension, this is meant to hold your yarn for you. So once this button passes this, once this pin passes this yarn holder, it counts on the row counter as 1. Watch me do it now. So you see, it just counted as 1. If you're also bringing it back like this, once you pass this place and you bring it, you see my hand, how my hand is rotating. You bring it back like this, it will count. That is 3. Look at my hand. My hand is going clockwise. You hear a click sound, it will count. And then you go back, and if you're doing a panel, you're meant to be going back clockwise and anti-clockwise. So I'm going to show you all that in the future, but right now you just have to know that you put your machine on 0 to start, put your counter on 0, and make sure your beginning button or pin is just before the yarn holder. Okay, so I'm going to start now by casting off, which is very important. Some people cast off wrongly, and that would actually make your yarns to fall off on the second or the third row. So I'm going to show you how to cast off, cast on. Your machine will definitely come with a hook like this, or maybe a longer pin, like this, or maybe a longer pin or needle. I kind of interchange the words, sorry, please just stay with me. Okay, so I'm going to use this this yarn. It's a lightweight yarn. You can also use a medium weight yarn. This is 100% acrylic yarn. Sorry, not 100%. This is 98% acrylic and 2% metallic. The metallic is what is shining on it like that, but it doesn't give any difference on the yarn weight. Okay, it's a lightweight yarn. You can use a medium weight yarn. So I'm going to bring in my yarn, and I'll be putting half of this, I'll be putting this length of this yarn. I don't know how I'm going to say it anyways. So I will be putting this length of this yarn into the machine like this, right? And I will put this one on the floor. Let's assume you have a big ball or a skein of yarn, whatever you're using. If you're using a skein or a ball, drop this on the floor outside the machine, and then you put a couple of lengths into the machine, and then make sure this hook your first hook is just before the yarn holder. So you go in and you yarn on the hook. These hooks have like stuff to hold the yarn underneath. You can see this yarn is going nowhere. This yarn is going nowhere. So you make sure it passes through the hook and you crank. They call it cranking. You crank your machine handle. Go to your machine handle and you crank it right away while holding the yarn still like this. So I'm trying to get everything here. So you hold your yarn and you crank your machine. You see that this other pin is coming up. Make sure you put it at the back of that pin, not at the front, okay? The second pin is going to the back. So you go in and the third pin is going to the front. You see what I'm doing? This is going to the front and the fourth one is going to the back. The yarn is going to the back and the front, back and front, back and front. So you're working with all the hook. One, you're missing one. This is going to the front, the other one is going to the back. You bring it back, go to the front, and then it goes to the back while you're cranking. Make sure you're cranking, and you're cranking clockwise. You're going clockwise, okay? So you keep cranking and going and going and going. So I'm currently making a skirt. This is how it looks because I'm doing a panel. I know if you're new into this, you might find the panel version very difficult. But I'm doing a panel. I'll show you. It's very easy. And with this panel, I'm not using the panel. This place is for circular. I'm using the circular mode. I'm not using the panel mode. I'm using the circular mode. With the panel mode, once you get to the black button, once you get to the black button here, which is the first button, the cranker will not go. Let me show you guys what I mean. So let's assume that we put this on. Let's put this on the panel mode, okay? Once you put that on the panel mode and you get to this place, it does not go. It doesn't move anymore. Once you get to this place, you get to the last button, you have to start coming back like this, okay, until you get there again and it will stop. You see, it will stop. It doesn't go. If you do too much, you're going to break your machine. But I don't want it to keep stopping me because I have a goal. I want to do something else and I want to have free will of my machine. So I'm going to do a panel mode. It has stopped again. I'm going to do a panel project, but I'll be using the circular mode. So I'm pushing it down to the circular mode and I'll start doing my panel project. You can see it has gone to, you can see how this row counter is disorganized. So we have to move the machine back, set our row counter to 0, and I'm going to cast on right now. I don't know, are you guys hearing me? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please let me know so I can continue. Can you hear me? Drop a hi or a yes in the comments so I can see it and know, okay, I have to continue. Can you hear me? Or is my voice low? Is my microphone off? Is everything all right? I believe you can hear me. Okay, so we are going to cast on now. So I'm going to cast on now. You see my black button, which is my first needle. My first needle is just before the yarn holder. So if you miss this part, you're going to get it now. So you put a couple of inches of yarn into the machine just like that, drop it, and then you crank your machine clockwise. You crank your machine clockwise and you pull your yarn through the back of the next needle and you bring it through the front of the next needle just like that, back and forth, back and forth. You see how my hand is going back and forth just like this. So this is how you correctly cast on your machine. So for this, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3. Okay, for this I'm going to be using 37 needles only. This is because I'm going to increase. So I'm on the 37th needle. This is my 37th needle. I'm going to be using just 37 needles. So this is my 37th needle, but I'll make sure it passes and pick the 38th needle. Okay, so it passes through the gates. Now there are important things here that you need to notice. This gate separates the needles from each other. This gate separates the needle from each other. So these red things, they are not needles, they are gates. And you need to make sure the last needle, after you pick up your, or after the last needle have gone into the machine, these gates, the yarn should be under the gates, okay, not above the gates like this one. This needle will not pick this yarn because this gate is not holding the yarn under. But once this yarn goes under this needle, once this yarn go under this gate, this needle will have the yarn. Okay, I don't know if you understand that, but just look at this. I just stopped on the 37th needle now. And why am I stopping on the 37th needle? Because I'm going to add 3 more needles, and you have to leave 3 needles to work with in the future. Because if you don't leave 3 needles, your yarn will be intersecting and it will not be nice. In short, your work, whatever you're doing, the lowest needle that you have to leave is 3 needles. Okay, apart from that, you can't do anything else. You can crochet, you can knit with just 5 needles, you can knit with 10 needles, you can knit with 20 needles, but you cannot knit with all the needles at once. That's what I noticed. Okay, so now I have used 37 needles, and we have a total of 46 needles on this machine. So I am left with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 needles, right? All right, for that 9 needles, I'll be adding 3 needles on both sides of my skirt or my panels, and at the end of the day, I'm going to be left with 3 needles to work with. So once you have finally cast on, the next thing is to open your yarn holder, and then you put in your yarn and pass it through there just like that, and then you close it like that. Fine. At this point, you're ready to start going back clockwise, anti-clockwise. You know, we're going clockwise. Now we are going anti-clockwise. Okay, so now you go to your handle, and then you crank your handle backward. So you see, I'm going backward like this. I'm holding this yarn because I want it to have some tension, okay? But you can just leave it. It doesn't matter. But I really love the first and the second needle to have tensions because it might fall off if it doesn't. So I am cranking backward, and I'm not tightening my wrist or my hand. I'm not tightening this place. I'm not tightening the yarn because I don't want it to cut. I'm just holding it gently and softly, okay? So I'm going to hold the yarn and crank again like this. I'm cranking backward. Once I get to this place, it have moved to 2. There, it have moved to 2. Now, you see, this is the black needle, okay? This is the black needle, and this is the white needle. The black needle is where we stop, but I had to make this white needle pick it so that it can go under the gate, which is this red thing that's here. I call it a gate. So it have gone under this red thing, so definitely the last needle have picked it up. But since it did not go under this red thing of this white needle, that means this white needle, once it comes off, this yarn will fall off. Watch what I mean. You see, that yarn, this white needle did not pick that yarn because this yarn did not go under this gate, right? So we'll just keep cranking backward. This is row 3, and it's gonna count for me here. You see, I'm on row 3 right now. So this is very easy. I'm cranking on my row 3, and you can see nothing is falling off. it's all in place because I'm doing the right thing. So you can go back and watch this video from the start again. Once you get to the end like this, you just keep going. For the project I'm doing, I'm going to be doing this, cranking this till like row 30 before I will add, okay? So I'm at the end again and I'm going back. Oh, you see, I missed something because I did not hold the yarn. The first and second needles are very critical, so you have to be careful on the first and the second needle, or else your needles will fall off. So I'm going to keep cranking. And now I don't need to count. The row counter is doing the job for me. Oh my God. Look at this. I just missed all this and I'm going to loosen it now. Now, is this not scary? I'm going to loosen this from the ones that I picked up unconsciously, and this happened. It's okay, it happens, okay? Once you do something like this, just carefully go back and loosen it like I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm at the last needle and it's easy. If you pass the needles that you don't want to use, you can loosen it just like I did, and you just keep going. I'm going to keep cranking till I get the number I want. Then I'll show you how I'm going to increase. Damn, I think I missed it again. That needle, that first needle is a troublesome needle. And then if you notice, I'm using my hand to shift some of the needles to make sure it's in place. It is totally fine to do that. If you're not sure, you use your hand to push it down, because for this hook to catch your yarn, this other one needs to be below. It needs to be really down, okay? If it's not down, your stitches will fall off and you don't want that. So sometimes I press this just to make sure it comes forward, because sometimes it goes backward, especially if you're using the other machine, the central machine. If you're using the central machine, I'm so sorry, I would not recommend that machine to anybody. It's trash, it's nonsense, I hate it, and I would not recommend it to anybody. I have it right here and it's just the most annoying thing I have ever used my money to buy. So I'm going to just keep going. I'm on row 11. I want to make sure I'm in frame. Please, if you're planning on buying a machine, buy the Addy machine. I have used the Central and I am using the Addy right now. And I can tell you for a fact that the Central is just a waste of money. Thank you so much for dropping hi in the comment section. Now I know you can hear me. I was nervous because I lost my microphone and I'm using another microphone, so I was not sure it works. So once you're done with the third row, it's just to keep going. The most difficult things is from the first to the third row. Apart from that, every other thing is just crank and keep going. Last thing I'm going to show you, no, second to the last thing I'm going to show you is how to increase, and I'll do that on row 30. I'm making a skirt, so for me my row 30 is my hip and I need my hip to increase, okay? This is my waist, I'm going to increase on my hip, which is row 30. I've done this a couple of times, so I tried it the first time, the second time, and it works for me. You can measure your hip and do your thing, add and reduce, do whatever you want, create your designs with this. I see people doing dresses, tops, skirts, trousers, so you can really be creative with this machine. It's not just hats and cardigans. We're almost there. 10 more rows, I guess. Literally kneeling down, and the machine is moving like crazy. You all, please forgive me. I cannot see the camera, but I hope I'm in frame. And this yarn will finish. I'll show you how I'm going to join. These are things I didn't plan on showing you, but since it just occurs along the line, I'm going to show you guys how I'll join another yarn. Because you might want to change your color, you might want to switch a color. I have a video for that, but I'm still going to show you. I'm on camera. We are doing well. See how technical I am? Like, you have to be cautious in the last stitches. Okay, so this is 28 and we are on the 30th stitch. This is 28. Once I turn it to be 29, let's go 29. So when coming back, this is 29. This is 29. So now we are at the 30th. I'm going to increase and add this pin. Watch, I'll just go past this pin, past this one, and go to this one, making sure that the gate after the pin that I'm adding takes the yarn. You just have to make sure the gate after the pin takes the yarn. Let's do that. So you go past the pin that you want to add, then you make sure the gate after the pin, the gate is the red thing. If you're using an addy, the gate have taken the yarn. You can see the yarn pass through the gate here. And yes, this pin is holding the yarn, but because this gate after this other pin have not taken this yarn, this pin is still empty. Okay, this pin is still empty. So you can start cranking backward, and then you see, because it's the first pin, please make sure it takes the yarn. You can support it with your thumb, with your pointing finger like that, or your thumb. Just make sure you support it and give it some pressure or tension. And then you see I have added this one. I just added this. I'm going to do the same thing for this other side. My machine is moving like a car. So I'm going to add this on this other side, and it's not going to bother this thing. As long as I'm working with this 3, it's not going to bother the count, okay? But the count will increase now. It's passing the gates. Good. Now I'll go back, and you see this pin has taken after the black pin. And now I have increased on both sides. So for this skirt, I'm going to increase on the next needle again. For the previous skirt, what I usually do is increase after 10 needles. Once I increase on one, I'll need 10 more rows, then I'll increase. But for this one, what I did, I was trying to try something else. So I'm going to increase on every stitch, every row, once I started increasing. So I'm going to increase on this one too. Where it was because I was making it last night and I was tired. I didn't know what I was doing. But it works, so I just increased there too. I'm going to increase on this one too. These last needles are actually very critical. Just past this other one. Let's make it past this other one and get into the gate. Good. So now we can go back. You see, because it passed through this gate, you can see how this red thing is holding this needle so that this one can pick it up. Just because you make it past that red gate. So that's what we are going to do until we use up the 3 stitch on this side. We've used 2, now we have 1 left. Okay, so we've used 3 on this side. We are going to use 3 on this side too. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So we have used, you can see this place. We have 1, 2, 3 empty stitches on this side, and these 3 needles that we have empty, they are like the doors to this handle, okay, to this place. These are the doors. So you need to always make sure you leave 3 stitches. No matter what you're doing, make sure you leave 3 needles, okay? So that's like a tip. Make sure you're always leaving 3 needles. So obviously I have increased on all the needles that I need to increase on both sides. And I made sure I increase equally because I'm making a skirt. If you're doing something else, you might want to increase just on one side. That's fine too. You just follow this pattern and increase on any side. You can increase just the middle. Let's say you're doing a top, a halter neck top, and you want to increase just the middle. That's the same way you'll be increasing. So for this now, I'll just keep going and I'm gonna do 105 rows max. I did 150 rows for this one and I had to loosen it because it was too long for what I wanted it. I want a short skirt and that was too long. I still feel it's very long, but yeah. This is not up to 150, so I'm going to do like 110 rows. So we have a long way to go right now. So if you're just coming, you can rewatch from the start to know how I cast on and how I increase, because I have increased, I have cast on and I have increased. Now I'm going to change my yarn, not change. If you have a yarn that you want to change, right, you can just cut the one you're using and then you bring the yarn and you tie it. Okay, it's easy. Now if you have a particular position that you want to change that yarn, make sure you do this at that position where you want to change the yarn. You want to change it from the start or from the middle, make sure you do it there. But me, I'm going to tie it because it's the same color and this one is just finishing. I'm just going to tie it. And this is the same thing you do for your yarn. And whether you're using a lightweight or medium weight, it's still the same thing. Just tie your yarn and make sure the ball that you're tying can pass through your yarn holder. And if you're just coming, you're just starting to watch this now, I'm holding the yarn because I'm giving it some tension and I'm helping the needles because sometimes the needles can fall backward and it will not pick the yarn, especially the first and the second needle. So I have to push in sometimes when I feel like it's gonna fall. Look at this yarn, it came out from this yarn holder. But if you make a big ball right here, it will not come out of this place. You might have issues. So however you're tying it, make sure you're tying it well. So I'm going to just do to 100, and you see what I'm saying. This place, you can see this yarn is not all the way down. I don't know if you can see it. Look at this yarn, it's not all the way down. You have to push it. You have to push that to go down, or else you will have a difficult tension when cranking. That's number one. And this one is almost falling off. Make sure it's passing through the hook. You have a difficult tension when cranking. That's number one thing you'll notice. And number two, if this yarn do not go down, this needle will not pick up a yarn. It might pick up a yarn, but it will not pass that. It will not knit it. So when you're coming back, this needle will fall off, and we don't want that. You can see how neat my work is because none of the needles have fallen off. Okay, none of the needles have fallen off. So you need a neat work like this, except you want to do a drop stitch. If you want to do a drop stitch as a design, then you can fall off one needle from here or anywhere you want to drop your stitch, and once you're crocheting, that stitch will be dropping as you go. So you can see some of this knitting. Did I say crochet? No. You can see some of this knitting, some designs that you see online, you can see them dropping stitch. It's because when you get to a certain point, you can just take off one of the needle or two of the needle, and you have that stitches dropping off all the way when you're going. Or when you're done, you can drop a particular stitch and then you use your hand and loosen it, and then you see that happen to be like a design. Well, it's a design, it's not like. So you can also do that. You can be creative around it. I'll just go now and do the length I want, not talking too much. And if you've not followed me, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please leave me a subscribe. You can also drop a comment and share this to someone that needs it. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for watching. And I really hope that this helps, because I got a lot of, I don't do knitting a lot, I do more of crochet, but I posted this and someone said, oh, she's having issues with it, and I decided to come on live because I know there are so many people, well, not someone, some people some people said I should do more knitting stuff. That's why I came to do it, because I know there are more people that might not have the courage to send me a DM, or they might feel, oh, if they send me a DM, I will not reply or I will not see it, and so they just keep quiet, right? We have those people in our classrooms. So that's why I came on here to do it, because I know it will help someone out there, and I hope this helps. So I'm going to get to the end and cast off and show you guys how I do that. As we're going, you see the difference in the place I added. I'm sure you can already see it. You can see where I added. You can see the difference, right? Look at this. This is where I added. This is the difference. You see this place is a little bit longer, like 1 inch, ½ inch longer than this other side. So yeah, that's it. And if you're just coming now, I'm doing a panel project, but I am using the circular mode of the machine. So I'm using the circular mode of the machine. I'm doing a panel project. The fact is, once you get to where you want to stop, you just stop there. I will be cautious about it because you can easily pass the place, and that's the use of the panel mode, because it stops you from passing where you don't want to pass. But on the circular motion, you can easily pass the place you want to stop if you're not cautious about it. That's just the benefit. It's not like you cannot use the circular mode to do a panel project. this was not about to pick this thing up. This was about to make me cry now. And then I think my yarn is almost finished. Oh my days. And for those that will be watching this after the live, you can easily forward. This did not go through, okay? You can easily just forward to where we get to the 100th row and cast off, okay? Those that are watching it live, thank you so much for watching live and for being patient with me. I mean, I'm not machine. So, thank you. We are almost there. We are at row 70. We can do more before our yarn finishes. I'm just cranking clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, back and forth, back and forth. If you cannot see, watch this hand. So I've gone clockwise, then I'm going backward. Like that. I'm coming back. And easy, just like that. You just keep cranking. I think the most difficult thing is cast on. Once you can cast on your machine, you're good to go. Just start running with it, because that's the most difficult thing to do. Because you think you've cast on, and on your 4th row, you just see everything falling off. It will just start falling off. 3rd row, 2nd row, you just see everything falling out. You'll be asking yourself, what did I do wrong? Yeah, we're on row 80. So so glad I can be able to get to 80, but even though it's still short, it's still very short. I don't think that will make it skirt. But my yarn is finished. If I get to 100, that will make a skirt, undoubtedly. So I'm trying to get to 100 rows before this thing finishes. Doesn't look like it. Row 90 coming up, guys. Every row counts because we need it longer. Look at what I have. I'm trying to get to 100 rows. I'm on 92 rows. This is crazy. Okay, let's keep going. Whatever happens, we are almost at the end. My God. Still going. I'll use it down to the last. Oh my God. 98. Let's go. Okay. Okay, 98 rows. So you can cast off from any side, okay? You can cast off from this side. You keep going like this. I don't know if you guys can see me. You can cast off going off like this. You can cast off going off the other side. I'll be casting off going off the other side because I want 100 rows. I'm daring. I'm daring my yarn to finish. Okay, so we made it. We made it! Yay! Give me a clap. Look at how much yarn I have left. Okay, so I want to dare this yarn to give me 101 row, but let me not push it. I'm going to bring my pin now, and I'm going to cast off. This is the last part. You look at this yarn that I was begging to remain for me. Now I'm going to cut it. I'm trying to manage yarn. Let's go. Anyways, so I'm going to put in my yarn into the needle. Wow, this yarn looks big. But definitely it can go through the needle. I need to cut it again. These are things that if it's a pre-edited video, you guys will not see all these parts, right? But you said I should come live. Now you can see me struggling behind the scene. Okay, so yeah, I have it all put into the distance. I've threaded my needle. Now I'm going to open this and bring out the yarn. Okay, and now the work will begin. Let me get closer. All right, so I'm going to crank my, I'm using this thing. I'm using this to crank it like this, right? And once this passes, look at what happened here. Once this needle passes this place and goes inside, I'll go with my hook, with my needle, with my stitching needle, and then I'll pick it up from here like this and carefully bring out the yarn. Carefully so it doesn't fall off. At this point, you'll be very careful because this thing can easily fall off and you start crying. So you have to crank as much as you can handle. I'll advise you crank one at a time. For me, I crank more than one. So once you have this, you can pick this. If you want to be faster, pick the other one. Pick the other one, and as you're picking it, you see it going off the machine. And then you take everything like that. You can even do all of them at the same time, but please be cautious. So you pull and it's out of your machine. Okay, so you do this again, take it off, and then you go with your needle. See where I'm putting it? You pick it out just like that. Go in, pick it out like this. I don't know if I'm blocking, I hope I'm not. Let me turn to this other side. You pick it out like this. And I'm just going to be picking it out. I need to be coming off the machine one after the other like this. And you're casting off. So you've learned how to cast on, increase, add a yarn, and also cast off in this video. And I hope that is helpful to you. So once you're done with your panel, you can go off and you can still use this needle to stitch it. I'm turning around because I want to make sure you guys are seeing everything. This thing I'm doing is dangerous. Do one at a time as a beginner, okay? Do one at a time. Don't do multiple like this so you don't go missing your stitches and falling them off. Because see, once this stitch falls off like this, off this machine, you will cry before you pick it. And then while you're pulling it, you might pull and then this one will fall off, so not recommended. And again, let me say it again. If you have the central machine, I'm sorry guys, that is a heartbreaker, that is trash, that is a piece of useless plastic with nonsense motors. I hate central machine. I do not like it and I will not recommend it to anybody. Yes, I bought it. I used it to make just one thing, and after that it frustrated my soul. So please, if you want to buy at the machine. If you want to buy at the machine. They are not paying me for adverts. Nobody's paying me for anything. I'm only saying the truth because I'm using it. I have used other brands. I will call the name with my full chest. I have used Central Machine and it was terrible. I had a bad experience, and I have videos and pictures of people that got Central Machine and they cried in my DM. So I would not recommend it to you. So please don't buy Central Machine. It is trash. It is nonsense. I am not recommending Central Machine. You would see my video in some of my pages and I was using it. I was happy But what will you do when you're naive and you don't have sense? So I was inexperienced, but once I got the experience, it was a terrible one. I will not recommend it. No central machine, only adding machine. Okay? Thank you very much. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. If you've not subscribed to this channel and you want crochet or knitting tutorials, I don't give knit tutorials like that, but I'm planning to, because I've been asked a lot of time to give knit tutorials like this. So if this is your vibe, you're in the right place. Hit the follow button and stay with me. You can also join our community. I'll be doing giveaways of my crochet piece that I have made, and I no longer need I no longer need in my space. I'll be doing giveaways of my crochet piece and yarns. Okay, I have yarns that I don't think I'll use in the next plenty years. So if you want that, stay in my space and get ready for giveaways. Thank you. I am done. Let me show you guys the final product. This one is giving me issues. Jesus Christ, this yarn, just come out now. I'm sorry, whatever I did to you, forgive me. Okay, so I am done. Hey, so at this point, you actually notice that it is very loose. But see, let me show you what I did for this other one. I knitted it. I crocheted rather. I did a crochet on this. Okay, so let me show you how I did this to end it, so that it will not be as slaggy or as slag. Is there anything as slaggy? So it will not be as slag as this. I went in with my crochet hook and I simply crocheted on them like this. So I go in and crocheted each and every one of it. But before you do that, make sure it's very slag so that you can adjust it with your crochet hook. For me, this is okay. Then this thing is doing like cap, you know, so you definitely have a anyhow looking thing like this. And then I have crocheted this one. I'm going to loosen it. I know that you guys don't understand what I mean, but those that understand will understand. If you know, you know. See how this place is all loosened and it's wrapping and wrapping. If you don't want it to wrap like this, you want it to stay in place and stay beautifully like this one. This is what you're gonna do. Once you cast off, you go in and you crochet on it. You use the same yarn that you used to cast off. Okay, the same yarn, or you can use another yarn. I'll advise you use the same yarn. You go in and you crochet on it. You see where I'm putting it, the very first stitch here. You make single crochet, you go to the next, make a single crochet. Sometimes I do one single crochet to separate the rows. Okay, then you go into the next, and make a single crochet. What I do too, because I don't know how to explain this thing since it's already off. Most of this thing, the rows are, how do I even explain it for you guys? Okay, so I go into the rows and I crochet it. I don't go on this thing. These are not rows. The rows are actually these ones. There are some things here, there are some knobs here that are actually knobs, not just thread passing by. This is a knob. When you go into the next, you see a knob here too. The knobs are usually very hidden, so I go into them. Crocheting is patience, you know, so I go into them one after the other like that, into those knobs, and those are the places where I do my stitches. So I go into this knob like this and I stitch like this, period. I make a chain, I go into the next knob and I do it like that. If I want it to be very tight, I'm not going to make a chain. Okay, so if I want it to be very tight, I just go into the knob. In this case, this is my knob, and I'm going to make a chain there like that. A single crochet there like that without a chain. So just like that, into the knob, single crochet. So that's it. Single crochet, single crochet into that knob. See how this place is so tight? That's it. So thank you so much. I'm going to see you guys in my next video. I'm going to drop a tutorial. Let me just give you a hint of what I'm doing. So this is the inner skirt for this beautiful skirt that is lying right here. So this is going to be, so it doesn't show the inside, or if you don't want to wear a bikini with it, this is going to be the inner of this skirt. That's a hint. I'm giving you a hint. So the next tutorial is going to be this beautiful flare skirt that I'm doing for the top that I just did. The top tutorial is not out too, so the top tutorial is coming out and the skirt tutorial is coming out just after it. Thank you so much. You can get my patterns from my website or check my description. After this video, you can check the description for my website and my patterns. Bye guys.